Ruscin Zach here on a Monday afternoon, and we are delighted to go to the Williams Tractor Hotline where we find Mike Neighbors, head basketball coach at Arkansas women's program, and new proud father. Coach, congratulations.
Much appreciation, and I can't thank you guys enough for getting that right. Social media posts got me tagged as everything from granddad to pawpaw to all kinds of other things. So thank y'all for getting that right, that I have a beautiful new son, not grandson. I appreciate you, boys.
So what are you going to roll with? Is he just going to call you coach?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No, you better. I would tell you this. My oldest daughter who's getting married, I think she's always kind of looked out of the side of her eyes anytime her younger brother called me daddy. I think daddy's pretty much reserved for the girls in the family. I don't know what. I will see what he calls me. I just hope he continues to call me. We're developing going on 4 days here in a row now. Just me and him and JC. So we're going to have a pretty close bond, I think. I'll be happy with whatever he calls me.
My daughter calls me bruh, and I don't like
bruh.
it. Yeah, bruh. So
Yeah, hey, bruh.
Yeah, she'll go, hey, bruh, and I don't like that. Just
from what age? Like when did that start?
It started like 6 months ago, and it's continuing through, and it's gotten louder. So stay away from that one.
I mean, again, if it was a little girl saying it to me, she'd probably melt my heart, and I'd probably answer back. But I don't know. We'll see. That's a good one.
So when we last left this, we were discussing the push present. So what happened there?
Well, let me tell you this right now. I strongly suggest anybody who is having a birth anytime soon, do the push present. Invest in the push present. It is worth it. I don't care what you find. It's the thing to do. It is. It helped get through some tough labor. Got me out of some tough spots probably early on as I was adjusting back to being a parent. So whoever came up with the idea, I probably, at first, the last time we were talking about it, probably didn't give them enough credit. I'm all behind. They can count on me as a spokesperson for push presents.
So what was it?
The necklace.
Mm-hmm.
It's I got it from Blakeman's up there. Ben up there got me hooked up when he heard. He found me the best thing I think I could have got. It says Mama on it. We're going to get it engraved on the back with Bowen's name, and Mom's been really, really pleased and happy with it. So I think jewelry's the way to go. But I think you got to know the people. She wasn't much of a jewelry person, so I think that's why I'm going with that way. Kind of made it special.
Smart.
But I think you got to. I think you got to get it right. I think I tried to get away with spindles for the new staircase that we're redoing, and that would have flown.
New bass boat, maybe a new truck. That didn't work.
That when I started talking about a pull-out double trash can in the kitchen as an upgrade for a push present, that fell on deaf ears. So don't try to be coy. Don't try to be funny. Just try to be as romantic as you possibly can get, and make it something special. I think that's the key.
So appliances are off the list here.
A blender or a vacuum would be a bad idea.
I would tell you that would probably get you in more trouble. Just don't get them anything. If you're going to get them get them nothing.
Well, no, I like your logic.
Appliances and cash.
Right. Look, I was going to get you a vacuum, but I didn't get you anything. That sounds like a hell of a deal to me.
Hey, I'm telling you, at the end of the day, you'd be better off if you'd have got a vacuum. I guarantee you. You'd have been working the vacuum, not her. I promise you.
So you sent me a text and said, hey, tomorrow, 5 p.m.-ish, and then you went into overtime. You finished Ozark in that time, right? I mean, you didn't have anything going on. I mean, you had time to sit down and watch Ozark.
Didn't do it, though. I had time, but I didn't do it. I got work done because I knew the time was coming. I misunderstood the scouting report on what come in at 5 o'clock means.
Yeah, you got suckered.
I kind of thought come in at 5 o'clock means we'll get you settled in. We're going to get some, medicines going, and 8:30, 9 o'clock. You're gonna have to be figuring out names for this kid. Well, they were right. It was 8:30 or 9, but it was the next day. But I think that has to do with this is JC's first child, and you don't ever know how the body's going to react, and just want to make sure you get it right. So it it's strung out over another day, and they're being really cautious right now. He was born at 9:00 at night, so by the time you get into a 24-hour checkup and all that things, you're into that next night. But I'm telling you, we felt as safe as we felt during any of this. It really felt like we had the hospital to ourselves. We were treated like kings, and as bad as we wanted to get home, it was really kind of a cool place to be for a couple of days.
We're talking with Mike Neighbors here on Ruscin and Zach, and we said this when we found out, when we were talking about it, for Friday, I guess we were talking. The name is spectacular. I mean, Bowen Stone Neighbors is a kick butt name, Coach.
We're pretty proud of it. It's JC's last name, and she's a big family person. She's coming out of Western Kansas. She's got older brothers and younger sisters and a big family. And the Stone family is a proud name. So we kicked around some various first names that were attached to the family, but when we got down to it, you can honor the whole family with that name, and it's going to develop some toughness. If y'all been around JC enough, she's got a tough side to her. So she wanted to make sure that there was a name there fitting. I wasn't very involved. I was throwing Covey out a whole lot in honor of COVID and Kobe Bryant. So I got dismissed for a long time. Yeah, Covey with a V. I thought it had some merit. I mean,
it's very timely.
It would have, very timely. It would have, obviously everybody would have known about when he was born. So, but she kept asking me for names, and I never really had one. Well, I wanted to have, the next time she asked me, I wanted to have one. So, she has a nephew named Rowan, and my daughter had been a nanny for a little boy named Rowan. Really liked that name, but we didn't want to duplicate within the family. And I was driving around. I was going back and forth between over here doing something in the office and the house, and Wade Bowen, who's a country music singer out of Texas. I've always enjoyed his music. His song came on. I looked down at it, and I said, Bowen, that's kind of a cool name, and brought it to her, stuck, and we said, well, let's see what he looks like when he comes out. You can always go with Bo. We both love Bo Jackson. We feel like he's one of the greatest athletes ever in our lifetime that we got a chance to see play. So Bowen gives you the opportunity to go with Bo. So we'll see what he picks as he starts to get a little bit older.
He could also be Stone Neighbors. Like he could go by work. Stone. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, my Jeff Brazil, my awesome video guy on our staff, huge wrestling fan. He's called JC Stone Cold ever since they met. He's a huge wrestling fan, so I got a feeling I know what Jeff's going to be calling him for sure. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but so far he's got a lot of personality, so I think he can live up to either one of them.
So, as somebody who passed out twice and threw up during childbirth, did you huddle up the doctors beforehand, have a little strategy session, maybe talk them up a little bit, slap them on the butt, tell them to get in there and have a good one?
There were a lot of basketball references. Dr. Bailey's a huge basketball fan, men's and women's basketball fan. We had a couple 30-second timeouts. He had to get me right. He had to take a little break there. Had to take him a little sub. But there were a lot of basketball. JC's a former coach too, and so there was a lot of basketball, sports analogies during that little, especially the last hour of hard labor. So, but yeah, Doc and the nurses, they knew that it was a sports-related birth, and it certainly took on that feel of a big game coming down to crunch time there. We probably motivated JC. We told her the room next to her is trying to get the baby born first, and it was up to her.
Always a solid
we did.
strategy.
Hey, that's a fact. That happened. I said, hey, I just heard that the baby next door was born within the hour, so you got to go. We got 4 minutes. Let's go. She did it. She came through like a champ, and it was fitting time for him to be born for sure.
This sounds like a little bit like the people who go into labor on December 31st, and they're trying to be the first New Year's baby on January 1.
Exactly. Yeah, get all the free diapers for a year.
That's right.
We had gotten into a holding pattern because my oldest daughter's birthday was May 11th, and we did not want to share birthdays. So we went into a serious holding pattern on Monday, which I think probably sent some bad karma around, some bad vibes and juju that we were trying to keep the baby a little bit extra. But there was some motivation to get that beat that room next to ours for sure.
Who's got diaper duty?
She does. That is her role, and she's not holding it over my head. She knows lets everybody play to our strengths. I'm in charge of reading. I'm in charge of teaching guitar and piano. We've got our strengths. It's not that I'm not going to get in there. I've changed a couple, but
you don't want to get in there.
No. Well, and hey, listen. Here's the deal. I get it that this baby's probably going to end up changing more of my diapers than I'm going to change of theirs. So I'm kind of keeping a running status on this. Like if I change 3 or 4, then I'm only going to hold him accountable for 3 or 4 too. So I think in the long run, when I tell him that story, I think he'll be probably proud that Mom was on diaper duty for sure. But hey, listen, technology's changed. For me, I'm pretty sure I'm going to write at least a small pamphlet. It may not end up a book. On how much things have changed in 18 years between the births of my 2 closest kids. The technology of, the diaper genies and these little socks that go on his feet to, monitor his heart rate at night and the temperature in the room. And we've got a little bassinet that if he whimpers, it shakes one way, and if he cries, it shakes another way.
Wow.
And if he whines, it learns his. So his technology has changed these things. So I'm not sure I can get a full book out of it, but there'll be a pamphlet coming out pretty soon on what to do when you got 18 years between your children.
The key to the diaper genie is actually emptying it. I found that out the hard way. You actually do have to empty it.
Yeah. There's only so much technology can do there for you if you're going to just be lazy when it comes to that. So we've got a pretty good little thing going here. And again, I saw somebody put it on social media. I think it was Andrew Hutchinson saying that a baby's diaper defies all laws of physics.
Yes. It will end up everywhere. Yes.
Yeah, you're like, wait, how did that get there? And what is that? And he's just drinking milk. Where did that come from? I mean, it's pretty fun, and like I say, it's not enjoyable, but it's fun and part of it for sure.
Yeah.
One of the really underrated parts of this and sort of benefits Arkansas fans is that you'll be coaching for a while and you'll be here.
No, believe me. When the news of this came, listen, I was never going to retire. I'm one of those. I'm not going to ever not have a job. So it's all good. But it does give me the opportunity. Hey, wait till you hear this number. He is the class of 2039.
Yikes!
Let that sink in for a second. So like I was, halfway joking with. I was expecting a call from us within the hour. It took him a little while longer than that, but not long to check on how what the stats look like.
Bowen Stone came out of the original transfer portal.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
He hears transfer portal, his ears perk up like a German Shepherd.
I know. So, I said 2039, and he said, Coach, I might be around by then. That's when it really started putting in perspective for me that, I hope I can still coach. If not, I hope I can still be there to rebound and throw some passes. But, it puts a new light
so we're opening
on
up SiriusXM for you.
how valuable
Stream
time
now for
is.
free
And
until May
I'm going to make
31st.
sure it's going to get me back as healthy as I've been, too. I want to make sure. I'd always said I want to make sure I get my son's graduation and my daughter's wedding, and both of those things are right around the corner. So now I got something else to use as a benchmark to, keep me from eating maybe a double cheese. I'm still going to eat a cheeseburger. I just might not get a double.
There you go.
I'm thinking like 2039. In 2039, I just want to be able to keep oatmeal in my mouth. That's really what I'm aiming for.
Hey, listen, I get the grandpa jokes, and I've done the math. I'm going to be 67 at prom and 70 at graduation. I get it, but I'm still going to be the coolest cat there. This one's going to keep me young, and I'm like I said, I've read 3 straight books for 3 straight nights. We're going to try to do that every single night. I've always wanted to play piano, so I'm going to teach myself to play piano so I can teach this little one when he gets old enough. So there's going to be a lot of cool moments for us. I'm really jacked up about it.
Now that's interesting. We're talking with Mike Neighbors here because I said, and I felt I didn't know anything about that, but I said and thought if they don't play football this fall, I'm going to need something to fill my time. I was going to learn piano.
Really?
Yeah.
have you ever played at all? Do you have any background whatsoever in it?
I've played very little. Like I can play
chopsticks.
Nothing at all. Yeah.
Well, my grandmother taught all of our grandkids, and I had smaller hands, so I couldn't reach a full octave like the rest. So since I wasn't good at it, I gave it up, and it was always been a life's regret. Because I always wanted to play it. I picked guitar up pretty quick, but you don't ever walk into a whole hotel lobby and see a guitar sitting over in the corner.
True.
There's always a piano.
Yes.
Nobody's got a random guitar sitting around. So I've always regretted not getting better at it. And so I'm going to use this kind of as a chance to teach myself to teach him. And I'll see, hopefully we have football and other sports. I watched every shot of that golf thing the other night because it was the only thing on. So I'm hopeful for a return sooner than later. But if not, hey, if you pick the piano up, let me know if you find anybody good on YouTube because I'm going to use YouTube to kind of teach myself.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
Hold on, back up. This is not the way Beethoven did this. Beethoven didn't dial up YouTube and figure this. Maybe just do it.
They didn't have.
He would have.
Yeah, all right, maybe.
He would have if they'd have had it. That's right.
Yeah,
He would have. Hey, listen, I struggled with guitar for so long. I had family friends that were teachers, my older brother, my stepdad, people, and they were great teachers. But when you can just sit there and hit pause and replay and do it on your own, and you don't have the pressures of somebody that already knows what they're doing trying to teach you, it's a little more doable. So, and you can just type in what song you want to learn. You can literally YouTube any song on the piano. There's hundreds of people saying, "Hey, I'm your piano stage, and I'm going to show you how to play this," and they do.
Werewolves of London. That's the one you want.
Yeah.
Little Warren Zevon, Werewolves of London.
That would bring down the house. I've already, and this was true with guitar too. It's a good piece of advice for anybody that's learning to play an instrument. Somebody gave it to me. He said, pick out a song, no matter how hard it is, and start trying to play that song immediately because that's what's going to drive you. And my guitar song was Wanted Dead or Alive. I wanted to play Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora's, intro and just the cool Dead or Alive. So that drove me to learn. So I've chosen Walking in Memphis by Mark Cohn as my piano song. That's not easy. But I can see Werewolves of London coming in there pretty quick after I pick up Walking in Memphis.
Who on your staff has babysitting duty? Because I'm assuming somebody's getting delegated this. Who on your staff gets that?
No, it won't be anybody. I mean, they all have kids. Todd's got 3 boys, so they're going to be the big brothers for sure. Amber's got 2 girls and a son. Chantel Osar may be the best person I've ever seen with kids that doesn't have one. She's the godmother of one of our former staff members when we were at Washington together. Heather's going to be all over. They're going to be fighting over it. I'm going to have sign-ups to see who gets to do it, I'm thinking.
They pay you.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, the players will be excited about it. We got a lot of family, a lot of friends, so it's just going to – here's the thing, we're doing this quarantine thing for a couple of weeks. I'm going to get pretty attached. I'm probably going to be hard to get me away. So we'll see how it goes. But no, I'd never delegate that one. That's one I'm gonna make sure I've got a strap on my back or chest to take him with me everywhere I can go.
Yeah, I said that about my daughter. Yep.
Yeah.
Said the exact same thing, and then she started calling me bruh.
Bruh. Yeah. Well, they'll grow out of it, but until they don't have any choice, I'm gonna make sure he's right there with me.
Well, we're happy. Everything is going great, and we appreciate you spending some time. What is the book tonight, real quick?
The book tonight. Let me walk in here. Well, Buzz Williams. I've gotten to be really good friends with Buzz Williams at Texas A&M, and he sent us a couple of Dr. Seuss books.
Okay.
But we read B is for Baller last night because it was we were getting ready for the Last Dance. But I found a book. And it is called Baby Rocker, and it's all about Kiss. So I'll send y'all a picture of when I hang up. So I think we're going to get him indoctrinated into the rock band from the 70s and 80s. See how he likes those guys. It may scare him, but it may not. We'll see.
Well, and he'll love the Kiss Scooby-Doo episodes then when the time is right to show those.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it.
All right. See you guys.
Mike Neighbors with us here on Ruscin and Zach. All our guests join us on the Williams Tractor Hotline.